All you have to do in order to achieve your desire is to sit down and observe the desire in your head. Allow the desire to just be there. Don't try to bring up any feelings. Don't try to make something happen. Just observe the desire. That's it. So say you want to make $1 million. Observe an image in your head of what it would be like if you had $1 million. Now what you'll notice is that almost instantly, sometimes not right away, but if you just hold the image, if you just keep imagining it, you'll notice that a feeling comes up. Usually it's a feeling of love, or it's a feeling of abundance, or it's a feeling of happiness. You because you are seeing the desire, because you are imagining it, almost like if you have a sexual fantasy, right? When you have a sexual fantasy, your body acts like you have a sexual fantasy. Like it acts like you're about to have sex, right? That's what's happening. That's how you get into the vibe of having it, because your body doesn't know the difference. Your body legitimately thinks that whatever you're imagining is happening, right? So in order to get into the end, in order to get into the state of already having it, you need to just look at it in your mind. Imagine what it looks like for you to have that thing, right? And just observe, maybe look around in the world, find what it looks like to have that thing, and you'll notice that these feelings come up and you start feeling good. Your body is preparing to receive that thing. Your body is acting. Your chemical makeup in your brain is changing to make it seem like you have $1 million. If you had $1 million for real, your brain would light up the same way as you imagining you have the $1 million right then and there. It's the same thing. That is living in the end. So sit down and imagine your desired outcome. Like right now, I'm imagining thousands of views, right? Because that's what I want. That's my goal. I'm imagining thousands of views. I'm imagining what it looks like. And I feel it in my chest. Like I feel excited. I feel happy, right? It makes this video better. It makes me enjoy making this video more because I feel it. And what you do is you sit there and you keep going until you feel that emotion so strongly that you can just get up and walk around and still feel it. Do not get up until that emotion has taken over you. Until you literally feel like you have that thing. A lot of people, they'll like imagine it, but then like they'll ignore it and oh, I can't do it. It took 2 seconds. No, sit there and do not get up until it feels like you have that thing. And then you will feel great. The rest of the day, usually the rest of the day, you'll feel great. Maybe something bad will happen, but what you'll notice is when you feel great from this, that bad thing doesn't hurt as much. That bad thing feels good. Like it doesn't bother you because you're a millionaire. You're a millionaire. You have $5,000 in the bank. You have $50,000 in the bank. You have that job that you want. You have it. So nothing really bothers you. You got to feel like you have it. And the way to do that is not by like forcing yourself to feel it. It's just by observing that reality in your head and allowing those emotions to come up, because those emotions are how you're going to feel when you get the thing. Okay? The emotions that you observe, that you feel when you're observing your reality, the reality that you want, is the emotions that you're going to feel when you get that thing. Okay? So that is how you get in the same wavelength as that thing. And if you're like, well, I don't know if I'm doing it right. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling like you have that thing, you're on the right track. That's all you gotta know. If you don't feel like you're having a thing, or you don't feel like you're attracting it, you're on the wrong track. You're not attracting it. And if that happens, if that happens, you go back to meditating. But what you might notice is like you're able to get into that feeling without meditating after you do this for a while, because your brain creates neural pathways that literally, like, it makes it so like, okay, I know, like it learns how to get into that state easier by itself. Like it's easier to do it. At first you got to sit there, and it might take 10 minutes, 30 minutes for you to really feel like you have it. But after you do that for long enough, it'll get there really quickly. The only thing is sometimes you'll have days where like you're really distracted, or like something bad's happening and you kind of get like messed up and you're not able to get into the state without sitting down. But at first you'll sit down and you'll get so good that you don't need to sit down anymore. You can just walk around. You can just walk around and feel like you have it. And when it gets to that point that you feel like you have it and you're walking around, you're good. You might also notice that you get bored with the feeling. You get bored with the feeling that you have, and that's good. You want to know why that's good? Because now it feels normal for you to have that thing. You've had that thing for so long that it feels normal. And when it feels normal, you definitely know it's on its way. If you feel it so well that it feels so normal, you know it's on its way. And signs that it's on its way, other than just feeling it, is you'll notice that maybe you start making moves towards your goal. Maybe for some reason people are just kinder to you. Sometimes people will give you things for free. You'll notice that, like, I've noticed this at least. You'll notice that like life kind of tests you. It tests your like seriousness. And the way that I notice this is like sometimes something bad will happen and it'll be like, oh, like you're supposed to do this thing and I don't want to do this thing. But if I hold on to the feeling of still having it, like it's almost like it's trying to knock me out to test if I'm really serious about it, right? But when I stay there and I'm like, no, I'm feeling this, I will do that thing. I feel like I'm a millionaire, and I keep going. That thing, all of a sudden they'll be like, you don't really need to do that anymore. Sorry, like never mind. That's what you got to do. Just feel that feeling, and you know you're on the right track if you feel it. If you feel like you have it, okay? And when the tests come to try to see if you're serious about it, you just stay. Just know that if that test happens, it's almost like a guarantee that you're going to get it. Because the more you pass those tests, eventually you'll get to the point where nothing can deter you from that. Eventually you'll get to the point where you feel like you have it so much that you feel like you don't need it anymore. You feel like you don't need that thing. You're happy without it. And that's when life gets amazing. Because you're no longer depending on the outward source. You're depending on the inner. You're depending completely on your own inner source to make you happy. And that is enlightenment. When you no longer need external validation, you no longer need that external thing to get you happy. And guess what? When you feel this way, it's so much easier to reach your goals. It's so much easier to manifest your desires. That's how easy it is. Just sit down and observe. Just sit down, close your eyes, and observe the imaginal reality. That's it. And you'll notice the feelings come up on their own. And whatever feelings they are, it could be, it feels normal. You feel it. It's not like a really exciting feeling. It's just like like this is normal. Like maybe you like if you wanted to get to work on time, say you wanted to get to work at 8:50, right? Like looking at the clock, that wouldn't like make you so freaking happy. No, it's just going to make you feel like slightly happy, right? So that's realistic, right? You need to feel like you actually have it. And in order to do that, you need realistic emotions, right? The $5,000 in the bank, it will make you happy, but and it'll probably make you ecstatic for a while, but it's not going to stay that way, right? It's going to eventually just get normal, just like these feelings will. And when that happens, you now have it. That's yours, okay? So this is how you manifest your reality. That's it. Just sit down, close your eyes, and do not get up until you have it, until it's yours. Do not get up until you have succeeded in this thing. All right, guys. I love you. Red Guru, out.